Hello and welcome to Into Vietnam. I'm Tô Anh. In this program, we'll bring you comprehensive news about Vietnam's economy on Thursday, following our major stories. Vietnam insurance market will be restructured. Business Environment Index in Vietnam this year rises to 56 points. And the electricity of Vietnam promises to ensure power supply in 2012. Borrowing money in foreign currencies from banks, especially in US dollars, to local enterprises, which set to continue to be the attractive choice for businesses this year. The attractiveness of dollar loans was attributed to the big gap between the dong and the dollar loan interest rates. The dollar interest rates are now ranging between 6 and 9% per annum, much lower than the dong interest rate of 18 to 24% per annum. The dong over dollar exchange rate has been forecast to be kept stable in 2012. The gap between the dong and dollar loan interest rate was set to be big enough to maintain the attractiveness of dollar loan this year. The Ministry of Finance is working on the criteria for evaluation of the local insurance companies to classify into 4 groups to apply different management approaches. This is part of the big task of the country's ministries in 2012-2015 in restructuring the local financial market, including the credit institutions, the state-owned enterprises, and the stock market. Total revenue of local insurance industries over the decade posted very good and stable growth, averaging 18.5% per year. Total revenue of insurance sector of the Southeast Asia country last year was about 45 trillion dong. We now move on to an update news about domestic gold price and US dollar exchange rate.
On local gold market, gold price on Thursday increased by over 150,000 dong from a day earlier. The gap between bid and ask was bridged to around 300,000 dong per tael. Local gold outpaced global gold by 800,000 dong. SJC gold closed the day at 45.13 million dong per tael for buying and 45.46 million dong per tael for selling. On the forex market, commercial banks continue to adjust the dollar price for bid to between 20,966 dong and 21,000 dong, and kept dollar S at the ceiling of 21,036 dong. On the unofficial market, the greenback price was relatively stable.
Following is a brief about local securities market. Vietnamese stocks advanced across the board on Thursday. Investors comped shares on speculation that the uptrend could continue thanks to positive news and bullish sentiment. Liquidity rose modestly on both exchanges.
On Ho Chi Minh Stock Exchange, VN Index closed at 401.61 after it added 10.94 points or 2.8%. The market breadth was positive, when 211 stocks advanced, 65 tumbled. Liquidity rose by 13% to 44 million shares and fund certificates valued at 715 billion dong. On Hanoi Stock Exchange, HNX index increased by 2.1 points to 62.89. This is the biggest jump since September 2011. The market breadth was positive when 253 stocks rallied, 47 tumbled. Trading volume was up 7% from a day earlier to 32.67 million shares, totaling 270 billion dong. Investors were cheered up by good economic data like low inflation and narrowing trade gap. Foreign investors continue to net buy on the two bases. They bought a net of nearly 26 billion dong worth of shares on primary bonds and over 4.7 billion dong of share value on the Northern bonds.
Vietnam Ministry of Finance plans to raise as many as 220 trillion dong from government bonds in the period from 2012 to 2015, or 45 trillion dong each year. This is under the plan of allocating the government-guaranteed bonds in 2012 by the Ministries of Planning and Investment. However, the fund can only meet about 36% of capital needs for important projects and plans approved by the Prime Minister during the period. Business Environment Index in Vietnam this year is reported to rise to 56 points. This is the result of the latest survey on business indicators of European enterprises in Vietnam, which was conducted by the Eurotram, the European Chamber of Commerce in Vietnam. The slight increase of Business Environment Index to 56 points showed suspension of the downturn in business confidence, as we have seen in 2011. However, business confidence of the European companies is still far below that of last year, indicating that uncertainty among investors still remains. 30% of asked enterprises perceived business environment in the first 6 months of the year as good or excellent, up 12% from the previous quarter, but lower than that of the same period last year, while 25% responded a pessimistic outlook. For investment plan, 38% of European companies in 2012 plan to pour more investments, while 31% want to maintain the current investments. 40% of businesses participating into the survey operate in the service industry, a quarter belongs to commerce and manufacturing, and the rest from other sectors. The state-owned Electricity of Vietnam, or EVN, has promised that there will be no power shortage in 2012, though a serious dry spell has been forecast for the summer. The firm is targeting a total supply of 118.5 billion kilowatt-hours this year, showing an 11.5% on-year increase. Its own power plants can generate 50.88 billion kilowatt-hours, while the rest can be purchased from other plants and from China. Some new power plants are expected to start production this year, adding nearly 2,700 megawatt-hours to the national grid. In eDream's list of 50 carriers selling cheapest tickets for short flights, the low-cost carrier of Vietnam, Jetstar Pacific, is rated as the carrier offering the cheapest air ticket in the world. The price that this carrier offers is quoted at over 8.5 euros for each, making it the lowest price among many other carriers of the world. The next two carriers selling the cheapest tickets for short flights are Monarch of the UK and Blue Air of Romania. Jetstar Pacific is a Vietnamese low-cost carrier, which was converted from Pacific Airlines in 2008. Qantas Airlines of Australia, State Capital Investment Corporation, and Saigon Tourist of Vietnam are now the shareholders of Jetstar Pacific. Thanks to a long Lunar New Year holiday, local tourism was reported to have a busy year with good profits earned. Tourism demand of the local people in that holiday increased significantly, reflected through busy destinations and full capacity of accommodation. Local traveling companies reported that the number of tourists of this year's Tet holiday has increased by 20 to 30% compared with last year. Accommodation services, including hotels and guest houses, were also reported to reach 85 to 90% of capacity. Some got 100% of capacity. We have come to the end of the program Into Vietnam. Thanks for joining us. Goodbye and see you next time.